So right now we're getting ready to host a wonderful event here at the Cellar and Pantry, and I have a special little treat that I'm making right now for the group. I was able to procure some of the finest, certainly rarest meat that you'll find in the entire world. This is the fresh meat of the pork that's raised and butchered by my friend Don Rodrigo. Rodrigo Duarte is a master butcher, and he's a master butcher raised in Portugal. He slaughtered his first pig at 8 years old. He's been carrying on this traditional family craft that has been passed on from generation to generation, and this is his fresh meat that he produces from his particular breed, the Iberico pigs that he brought over himself, the first of the particular bloodline that are raised in the Alentejo region of southern Portugal, where he's from. He moved to America as a teenager and became a butcher, and eventually raised enough money to be able to finance the transport of 10 of these exceedingly rare pigs to America. Many people have heard of Iberico pigs, the black pigs of the Iberian Peninsula. Excuse me. The special thing about these is that the ones in Spain, they tend to mix the bloodlines. They need to produce the 100% Iberico pigs, but they don't necessarily hold on to the particular bloodlines of the particular places the way that the Portuguese do. In southern Portugal, this particular bloodline has actually never left this area of Portugal. These are the Alentejano acorn and chestnut fed pigs of southern Portugal. And what's very interesting is that the pigs are raised to be cured. So in that they're meant to be cured, most of the parts of the pig are reserved, seam butchered, in order to be hung, dried, and aged over time, which of course intensifies the flavor and produces an incredible product, which we may be more familiar with the jamón de Iberico de Bellota. This would be the presunto alentejano, 100% pata negra. So what we're cooking right now is called the secreto and the lagranitos. These are not cuts you're going to find in a butcher store, certainly not in America, but you'd have to go to Europe and you'd have to be in an area where they cure meat, because these are two of the cuts that they keep fresh, that they're not going to cure. He was a butcher for 35 years before retiring, and something I learned very quick is that the butchers always get the best cuts. We were able to have on our plates things that my father was able to set aside special for himself, because sometimes there's only very little of something available on a pig, or say or a cow or a beef cattle, that is not conducive to retail sale. So if you know a butcher, sometimes you can ask them for special cuts, and they'll reach deep down into their little reserve and they'll give you something special. So in this case, my friend Don Rodrigo Duarte of the Alentejo has generously given us a number of these very special cuts from his farm-raised Iberico de Bellota pigs, the secreto and the lagranitas. So right now I'm searing them. I'm going to produce a medium rare to almost rare temp, and then we're going to cool it for a long period of time, and it'll equalize to be just a really beautiful, just absolutely pink piece of pork in the end. We're seasoned with a little bit of salt and garlic, butter, and just let it rest and redistribute all of those juices to the outside of the cut. The wonderful thing about cooking a piece of pork like this, and certainly any pork that you'll be able to find that's raised responsibly and raised well to have a wonderful life on a farm, is that you don't have to worry about a lot of the things that we have to worry about in commodity pork. So it may be surprising to you that I'm going to cook this pork to medium rare, whereas I wouldn't want to cook it anymore. I'm not looking to kill any special or scary pathogen, because I know that there's nothing that I have to worry about in this pork. Trichinella is certainly not an issue, but this is the kind of pork that, in Europe you would eat raw, frankly, if you were to have something like a salsiccia de bras or even a pork tartare. Just a wonderful thing that we generally don't do here in America, but when you can find a pork of such high quality, I encourage you to do it. If you know the farmer, you know the butcher. In this case, Rodrigo is essentially both. He is completely vertically integrated in this process. He not only does he raise and tend to the stewarding of these pigs while they're alive, and also butchers them, and also cures the special muscles in them that can take curing. But of course, he also brought the first 10 animals over, and that bloodline has never been compromised. In fact, if any of this bloodline for these initial 10 pigs becomes compromised, Rodrigo has signed an affidavit to the government of Portugal that he'll be sent to prison if he ever goes back home again, which of course he will. His daughter will be married in Portugal, so it'll be a very sad wedding if the Portuguese officials get to him before his daughter's married, if he does compromise the bloodline, which of course he won't. So very, very special pork we have here, and I'm very excited to slice it up once it's rested, and maybe we'll sprinkle a little bit of Maldon salt on there and see what our guests, see how they appreciate that as a little surprise taste, amuse-bouche, if you will, to our tasting we're going to be doing in about 20 minutes.